It's really loud where I parked today. And I realized that, yeah, I wear the same clothes a lot. I guess you'll just have to put up with it. I intentionally ate some roe that went off yesterday. Just kind of a let's see what happens. Do I get sick from eating raw things that are supposedly guaranteed to make you sick? And no issues. I had another package of the same, and it's also off. So we're gonna eat some more today. I think mostly what delights me about eating raw is that it forces you to challenge how you think about everything you've been taught about food. Because not just the fact that eating meat is supposed to be bad for your health, but raw. And then when I do, I actually thrive. That doesn't make sense, right? So why is that? Anyways, I like it for that reason. Is it possible that everything we've been taught our whole lives is completely fucking wrong? And it's really tough mentally to not only consider that to be possible, but to then explore it. Because generally our first reaction is almost violent. Violent and angry. No, absolutely not. Full denial. Everything we've ever been told is the truth. Or we're willing to accept that some things are not the truth, but then we subscribe wholeheartedly to everything else being the truth. Without really taking into consideration that there's not much difference between the two. So are we sure that the truth is the truth? So, don't tell my boyfriend, but I didn't tell him the eggs were off that I was eating during our meal last night. He was like, "What's that smell?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Masago." That's not how Masago should smell. I rinsed them a little bit, and that seems to have helped, remove the most overbearing of odor. But consider this, we eat certain fermented foods, but not all fermented foods. Because what is fermentation if not, in a way, the rotting of the food, the breakdown of it? And then with raw, we cook raw food to make it safe because we don't want any of the bacteria. And then we go to the store and we buy bottles of bacteria, probiotics, to eat. You have all the probiotics you need for free on your food, and they're the probiotics that you would actually need to break down this food and digest it, instead of some, whatever is most shelf stable. It doesn't mean it actually does anything good. The logic there just boggles my mind. Meat is not void of probiotics, it's full of it. Full of deliciousness. And then we do the same with dairy. Cook all the bacteria and the enzymes out of it so that it can't be digested. And then we're surprised that there are so many people with lactose intolerance because they can't digest the dairy that no longer has the enzymes needed to break it down. In other news, I went back to the gym yesterday after being out. Man, it's rough when you haven't been working out for a while because you've been sick. I was genuinely surprised I got hit so hard with bronchitis. But that's the thing, is I'm not invincible. And my immune system is considerably light years ahead of where it used to be before I was carnivore, so I'm grateful for that. That means I get sick once really bad in a year. Instead of 5, 6, 7 like I used to, I will take it. I've been really lucky since being in my ambulance, because I've made, I used to be very introverted and didn't know how to make friends very well. And this lifestyle's kind of forced me out of that bubble. And as a result, I've been really lucky. The people I've met, they're so sweet. This one gentleman gave me several pounds of fresh caught bluefin tuna. Oh my God, just the most amazing high grade tuna you could imagine. For free, just because he knew that I like to eat meat and fish. Another guy brought me a bunch of sardines that he'd gotten at the market because he could only buy, or he had to buy a minimum amount, and there was no way he could eat them all, and nobody else in his house likes them. But he knows that I eat raw carnivore, so he was like, well, I figured maybe you'd like some. So he gave me a bunch of fresh sardines that were amazing. I don't know, just people have surprised me a lot since being down here in a good way. I never would have expected. I've never experienced living other places in the States. tastes really good. Big old chunk of gone bad caviar. Mmm. It's got this interesting flavor to it. Like, it's not a horrible flavor, it's just very pungent. Slightly alcoholic. I ate some raw steak that had gone off a couple months ago. Ate that for a couple of days, and it didn't mess me up in any way either, in the slightest. But what was interesting about it, it had this sweet candy flavor in certain spots, and you could smell the alcohol like building in the worst spots. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. It was really yummy. It wasn't at all what I thought it would be. And that had been in my little fridge here for, I think, 2 weeks. Maybe, yeah, I think it was 2 weeks. Not frozen, just sitting in my fridge for 2 weeks. And it was definitely gone off. I kind of crack up when I see people ask about, like, is it okay to eat this or that? You know, it's been in my fridge for 2 days. Or it's just started to turn brown, you know, like meat should turn brown over time. Usually they use gases to prevent that or slow it down. But it always cracks me up because I think, here I am over here intentionally eating bad meat. On a related note, I have not officially moved into trying high meat. I had some worry about how high the histamines are in it. Since that was a factor in why I decided to go completely raw. So I'm still undecided about that. This is about 1.6 pounds in this package. I don't really stress too much about macros, like the specific ratio of fat to protein. I try to aim for 80-20, which is 80-20 gives you pretty much 50-50 even split between fat and protein. So it'd be, 20 grams of fat, 20 grams of protein type deal. I don't go out of my way to add more fat. And mostly I just really avoid super lean cuts or super lean blends of ground beef. Try not to overthink it too much. I think before, like, if you're brand new to carnivore or you haven't tried it yet, it's really easy to overthink every stage of the process and try to micromanage every little bit, because that's what every other way of eating lends itself to. That if you don't constantly track macros and calories, you're gonna do it wrong, you're gonna gain weight, or you won't gain the weight that you want to gain, and so on and so forth. And then you end up with this obsession about food. Like, you have to, every meal has to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, then you have to punish yourself later by either starving yourself or over exercising. And once you finally eat in a way that consistently provides you high quality nutrition, that obsessing about food goes away on its own. The cravings go away on their own. The nonstop hunger. I wish it was more widely known that it's normal to be obsessive about food when you're nutritionally starved. Like, and nutrition and calories are two different things. You could eat a ton of calories and get almost no nutrition out of it and still be starving. You can be obese and starving. As long as you're nutritionally deprived, the body keeps telling you, eat, eat, eat. Do an upper body workout today. So, like, pretty winded at times, but just keep at it. Just go a little slower than usual. Yeah. Thank you, Dakar. I parked right by the freeway today, so you guys get to hear all of the freeway noise with me. Quite good. Made a pretty decent dent. I probably won't save it for another meal. let it be on its way. My my rotten caviar. Delicious rotten caviar. Yeah, that's about it.